Year 3 for Baker Mayfield. It'll be his third head coach, fourth if you count interim. It will also be his third offensive system. Mayfield seems excited about year 3 and also Kevin Stefanski's offense.
No, it's not an excuse for me. I said I always have the best quality about a quarterback is raising the productivity and the level of the guys around him. So it doesn't matter what's going on. If I do my job and try and do that and accomplish that, then I'm playing quarterback at a high level. So, year 3, but the goal every year is to make it to the Super Bowl. If you don't set that goal, then you're playing for the wrong reasons. You're not playing to win. So it is what it is. Like I said, it's not an excuse.
How do you feel your skill set matches what Stefanski's offense is and how it brings out the best for you?
I think it matches up very nicely. Being in control, getting checks in the run game, just being efficient. And last year I know was not a great year for turnovers, but I've always prided myself on not turning the ball over. And so that's something the conversations we've had is when we do take our shots, it has to be smart decisions, and there's nothing wrong with a good incompletion every once in a while. So the scheme wise, I think my skill set matches up to that very well. And then also how he's coaching it. I think it's going to be a great fit.
Can you just talk about how you think that things will go this year with Odell and Jarvis, considering they're coming off of their surgeries and, who knows how much they're really going to be able to practice in training camp? Do you feel like you have enough to build on, or might that be a little bit of a hindrance in the early going?
No, I think what we're doing right now in these Zoom meetings and these installs will create a great foundation for scheme-wise of being on the same page. And I've enjoyed kind of sitting in and listening on some receiver meetings with Coach O'Shea. He's a very sharp guy as well. But, I mean, those guys are working extremely hard after their surgeries for the rehab process, and they look really good. They say they feel really good. And it appears that way. It's just a different mindset going into it. And I think, like I said, I think they went back to the basics. They're ready to take over, and it's their time now. They know that. They know that we only have so many more opportunities together. So they're going to do everything for each other, and I'm looking forward to see the productivity they have.
Baker Mayfield talking about playing in Kevin Stefanski's system with Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham as the wide receivers. Let's welcome back in Doug Lesmerises. Doug, when you look at what Kevin Stefanski's offense did with Stefon Diggs and Adam Thielen, you got to get kind of excited about having guys like Beckham and Landry filling those two wide receiver positions.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. It's the balance because a lot of people like to talk about how often Kevin Stefanski uses two tight ends, how important that 12 personnel package is, and signing Austin Hooper and expecting a big year out of David Njoku. But Minnesota receivers lit it up, baby. I mean, those are two dangerous guys in Diggs and Thielen that they had on the field, and they utilized them both. There's just potential across the board, and I think I think the fact that Odell is here in year 2 and they have a better understanding of things, it can be a tough balance, I think, at times between trying to target certain players and then also just taking sort of what the defense gives you. And if that guy's not open in the route, then you've got to go to this guy. And all of a sudden you're not throwing Odell Beckham Jr. enough. That can be a tough balance at times. But I do like the way you phrase the question, Dave, because I think we've talked so much about how important the tight ends are going to be and how comfortable Baker is throwing the tight ends. And that's why they spent money on Austin Cooper. I think it's, you can't forget that Odell Beckham Jr. might have a monster year, man. Like it really is out there for that. And he really, it really wasn't good. Yeah, he got to 1,000 yards last year. Man, this guy had 108 receiving yards per game his first year in the league. He had 67 per game last year. I mean, what if you had 40 yards per game to Odell Beckham in 2020? What a huge difference that would be. So, I think it depends how you want to talk about it. You can end up talking about how every single position on the Browns offense is going to be better than it's ever been because there's such, I think, great faith and hope with Kevin Stefanski. but I just do think there is legitimate reason to just feel like the passing game will function properly.